Hello viewers, welcome to this channel where I share my experiences with organic terrace gardening. In this video, I am going to show how I compost vegetable waste using the Bokashi Composting System. The Bokashi system of composting is an anaerobic system in which a Bokashi mix, which has microbes, is used to ferment the wet waste in an airtight container. And after about 10 to 12 days, this waste must be buried under the soil for the waste to fully decompose, which would take about 2 months. That's all there is to it. It's quite simple. It uses the following: a plastic bucket with an airtight lid, a tap at the base of the bucket, a plastic grate which acts like a filter and is placed at the bottom of the bucket, the Bokashi 1 mix, which is inoculated bran containing microorganisms, and a wooden masher like this. To get started, first I sprinkle a little Bokashi 1 mix on top of the plastic grate. Then fill the day's kitchen waste in the bucket. Press it hard with a wooden masher like this. Keep it of course on the floor when you do this so that the pressure will be more. Either with a wooden masher, or you could use your fist, and if you don't want to get your fist dirty, you can use a plastic cover and then use your fist. Then sprinkle a spoonful of the Bokashi 1 mix. Spread it evenly and then close the bucket with the airtight lid. Make sure that the lid is airtight. The quantity of the mix can be changed depending on the volume of waste that is added. Now you have to also ensure that the tap at the base is in the closed position. Now keep this bucket in a cool place away from sun and rain. If you have the space, you can even keep it next to the dustbin in your kitchen. Apart from kitchen waste, you can also add fruits and vegetables, prepared foods, cooked and uncooked meats and fish, dairy, eggs, bread, coffee grinds, tea bags, wilted flowers and tissues. Just make sure you add more of the Bokashi 1 mix when you use high protein foods such as meat, fish, cheese and eggs. Every day, open the lid add that day's kitchen waste press it down hard sprinkle a spoonful of the Bokashi 1 mix evenly and close the lid airtight. This would take just a few seconds. If the lid is not closed airtight, the fermentation process will get affected. Hence, ensure that the lid is absolutely airtight. If necessary, use such clips to fasten the lid. A few days later, a liquid starts collecting at the bottom of the bucket. This is the leachate, which needs to be drained regularly using the tap at the base of the bucket. How to use this leachate, I will share in a few minutes. Once the bucket is full, keep it sealed for 10 to 12 days. As usual, away from sunlight and rain. Continue to drain the leachate regularly during this period. After 12 days, the waste is ready to be buried. Note that the waste does not break down in the bucket. Due to the airtight bucket and the microorganisms in the Bokashi 1 mix, the waste is fermenting and will reduce in volume as it loses water content. Complete breakdown of the waste and the composting process itself occurs when it is buried in the soil. Now comes the twist. Instead of burying the waste in the ground soil, I take off a layer of about 2 inches from the top of the potting mix and spread the fermented waste evenly and cover it back with the 2 inches of the potting mix which I removed originally. Spreading the fermented waste. You can notice that the waste remains as it is, except that it is fermented, so you can't see any visible change in the waste. Of course, the volume has shrunk as the moisture has been drained out in the form of the leachate, and now we are spreading this fermented waste in a pot which is ready for its next set of plants. Spread it as evenly as possible. Once that is done, We put the soil back onto the pot, the potting mix. In this case, of course, the potting mix is coco peat and vermicompost. So no soil is there in this mix. It will be useful if there are organisms like earthworms present in this mix, so that the actual composting process will be expedited. Now spread the mix evenly. And now it is ready for sowing seeds. Then I sow the vegetable seeds in this pot. Thus, while the waste is getting composted, the plant starts growing on it. For pots which already have plants, I bury the waste around the plant's roots. So I never ever get to see the compost actually. Currently, I am experimenting using the fermented waste to grow fruit trees such as guava, pomegranate, figs, as well as drumstick, curry leaves, and bell peppers. These containers have only the fermented waste from the Bokashi Composting System with very little coco peat mixed in it. These have been planted a few weeks ago, and they seem to be growing quite well. After the bucket is emptied, make sure to wash it thoroughly. Make sure that the plastic grate is washed. And of course the bucket. If there are any of the fermented waste still left, you can just put it in one of the pots. Now for the byproduct of this process. The leachate, which is the liquid which is collecting at the bottom of the bucket, is the byproduct of any anaerobic composting. It contains the nutrients from the food waste and is alive with microorganisms, so it makes for a terrific and free fertilizer. As we have seen, we have drained this liquid through the tap at the bottom of the bucket, and it is now ready to use as a fertilizer for your plants, but only after diluting it with water. 5 ml of this liquid for every liter of water. Do not use it without dilution. Once it is diluted, you can pour about half a liter of this liquid fertilizer for each plant. For larger pots, you may want to pour more. Just you have to ensure that it is diluted. And be sure to use this liquid as soon as possible. In any case, not later than 24 hours. This liquid can also be used directly in the kitchen sink drain, bathroom drains, toilets and septic systems. It will help prevent algae buildup and control bad odor. And as a huge bonus, it contributes to the cleaning up of our waterways as a good bacteria compete with the bad bacteria. Leave the drain unused for about 5 to 6 hours. So it will be best to use this at night. Even though I have modified the system, I found excellent results. Not only are the plants healthier, but are also yielding very good harvest. This is what prompted me to share my experience with others who are interested in composting kitchen waste. As we come to the end of this video, I must tell you that the most important reason why I chose the Bokashi composting system is that it is fairly effortless. There is no need to turn the waste as one would do in an aerobic system. Also, there are no risks of rodents, bad odor or flies. If you choose to follow the Bokashi composting system, do consider getting 2 buckets so that after the first bucket is full, you are ready to start with the second one. I had bought the Bokashi composting system on an online shopping website, but you can also make this bucket yourself. In fact, I found the original buckets to be too small and were getting full too soon. I purchased these from the local market. I got larger plastic buckets with airtight lids, clips just in case the lids are not tight enough, tabs, and made a grate with acrylic sheet by drilling holes and using nylon door stoppers as the base. I also got a wooden masher made for pressing down the waste. Well, that is all from me as far as composting is concerned. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope it helps in your efforts towards a completely organic terrace garden.